Hello, this is the Ramblings of an Indisciplined Mind podcast for Tuesday, June 28th, 2016. As of this recording, Sierra is still missing. So I've been working on the mission statement and vision statement for the writing thing, and I've been looking at goals. And there's one I'm really thinking about, rather hard, and that is podcasting my novels. My intention is to podcast Wayward Time, which I need to get back to editing. I haven't touched that in a week or so, a little over a week. I think my intention is to podcast that one and do it myself. But beyond that, I'm not sure if I want to continue doing that. And I don't know that if I do, I don't know that I want to continue doing that myself. I get a non-zero percentage of comments complaining about my reading style for doing the podcast novels. I don't flatter myself into thinking that I necessarily do a spectacular job at it. I don't think that audible storytelling is necessarily my strong suit. And so, if I was to continue it, I would have to look pretty seriously at hiring somebody to read it for me. And the question is going to be, would that pay off in a dollars and cents mode? Now, I'm not expecting to make dollars directly from the podcast. The people that have become successful at writing and through podcasting have used what they've done, and what they still do is podcasting is how they build an audience. And the dollars come from maybe somebody wants to buy the audiobook version from Audible or something like that, or maybe they buy the ebook version or something like that. It drives sales to those physical products or virtual products, and you're not going to make money off of the podcast itself. You're not going to sell them on iTunes for $1.99 and really expect anybody to purchase those and things of that nature. So depending upon how much it would cost to hire somebody to read a book for me, I'd have to see how, if I think that would drive sales to the ebook enough to make it worthwhile. And that's one thing I'm not sure of at this point. That's a big question mark. I want to do Wayward Time as a podcast because both Borrowed Time and Stolen Time are there. And I know I've got people that have enjoyed it in that format. And so since Wayward Time is most likely going to be the last installment, unless I end up selling that particular series and it can go further, I want to keep it in the in the medium that I already have the series in. And so to me it makes sense to go ahead and do that. And I'll, like I said, I'm planning on reading it myself, just once again to keep the continuity in place. But beyond that, I'm not sure. It's probably it's going to depend. My goal is to be a hybrid author. So I want to land a sale with a print publisher and and do that, but I also want to continue to self-publish works. And obviously the self-published works could easily be podcasted, and I might do that. But once again, I have to work out the model and try to see if if it's going to cost me, and I got no clue what it costs to hire somebody to read your book. Is it $250? Is it more? Is it less? I got no freaking clue. But that's just for chuckles. Let's say it's $200. That's a lot of ebooks. That's a lot of ebooks. That's got to happen. Now, obviously, if I was going to pay for that, I would probably want to go ahead and get it listed on Audible, and that would obviously be a higher price point, and then would also be an additional revenue source, assuming it's sold. So that would also help recoup the cost. But that's what I would have to figure out: is it cost effective to hire somebody to read it for me? Is it cost effective for me to read it myself? And the question is going to be: is if I go ahead and do it, am I building up an audience by reading it myself, or am I hurting myself? Would I be better off to not release it as a podcast than I would be to record it myself in a way that some people find objectionable? So that's kind of what I'm thinking about today. I don't know where I'm going to land on this. I'm trying to do a lot of soul searching and thinking ahead and planning, and that really kind of starts with what are the right questions to ask. What are the scenarios I need to consider? And that's kind of at the phase that I am in with this particular question. And so I thought I'd just kind of talk it out here on the podcast today. But that's really all I got. I am going to be back tomorrow. I'll be talking to you then. So, be seeing you.